Green, you ready? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Crestwood Board of Education regular board meeting, which we will call to order at 6:32 p.m. Mr. Secretary.
Trustee Amon? Here. VP Janoon?
Here.
Trustee Baydoun?
Here.
President Sabal?
Here.
Trustee Elziat?
Here.
I am here. Trustee Fawaz?
Here.
Thank you. If you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Secretary, the consent agenda?
Recommended action, the Board of Education approval is recommended for the items listed in consent agenda, which includes the May 19th, 2025 board agenda, the minutes from the last study session on Monday, April 7th, 2025, and the minutes from the regular meeting on Monday, April 7th, 2025, and the check register for April 1st through April 30th, 2025.
Support.
The consent agenda recommendation by the Secretary. Board of Education approval is recommended for the items listed on the consent agenda, which include the May 19, 2025 board agenda, the minutes from the study session on Monday, April 7th, 2025, and the minutes from regular meeting on Monday, April 7th, 2025, and the check register for April 1st through April 30th, 2025, supported by Trustee Amon. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right. Thank you. Dr. Musalam, we have a special consideration here.
We got a lot of special considerations this evening, which is good. These are the things we love. So at this time, I'd like to invite up Mr. Rashid Baydoun to host our special presentations and board brightener of all the great things happening in our district.
All right, thank you. Good evening, President Sabah, Dr. Musalam, and members of the board, and the wonderful Crestwood District community. Tonight's board brightener is a celebration of where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. We get to shine a light on student voices, applaud the achievements of our graduates, and honor the lasting legacy of those who spent decades shaping our district. So let's begin with the rising energy and creative spirit of our students. At Riverside Middle School, students aren't just learning, they're leading. The RMS News Team is a student-run initiative that tells the story of their school, their peers, and their passion. Under the direction of Riverside's very own Mr. Ken Bajorek, these students are building media skills, public speaking, confidence, and most importantly, ownership of their school narrative. To walk us through the RMS News Team year in action, please join me in welcoming Mr. Ken Bajorek and his team.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Ken Bajorek, as Mr. Baydoun so lovely bestowed upon us. I'm a computer teacher at Riverside Middle School and the news director at Riverside. We're excited to give you a glimpse at how our student-led news program informs, engages, and connects the Riverside community.
RMS News is a daily student-produced broadcast that keeps our school informed, entertained, and connected. Our mission is to provide students, staff, and parents with entertaining announcements about all the happenings in the Riverside community.
Each day, we share the lunch menu, student birthdays, weather updates, and a class saying the pledge. Every week, we feature shout-outs from staff, Paw Patrol, trivia, and Artwork of the Week. We also cover big events like sports, concerts, and fundraisers.
If it's happening at Riverside, we're probably there, with a mic, a camera, and a story to tell. Here's a look at some of the highlights from this year's RMS News.
On set. RMS News episode 107, take 4.
What's up, Riverside?
What's up, Riverside?
What's up, Riverside?
Welcome to RMS News.
We've got a great show today, including a special Paw Patrol,
including this week's Artwork of the Week,
including this week's Trivia Tuesday.
But first, let's join Ms. Harp's class for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
morning, Riverside. My name is Yusuf.
My name is Selena.
And my name is Autumn.
Happy birthday to today's birthday students.
We hope your day is terrific.
On the lunch menu today is cheese raviolis,
Fish or chicken patty sandwich.
is pasta alfredo.
Today's pizza is from Detroit Pizza.
The weather today will be mostly sunny.
We'd like to give a big thank you to the Dearborn Heights Police Department.
Spring suckers are back and for a limited time.
Artwork of the week! Yahoo!
Today's artwork of the week is from 7th grader Liana Bazzi.
Zara Daher won Best in Show from Miss Metric's class.
I'm coming to you from right here at Riverside Middle School, where the hallways have been transformed into a breathtaking art gallery.
We hope that the conflict doesn't continue, but if it does, we plan to continue this event.
It'd be fun to do something early in the year, put a little spooky spin on it, and hopefully see some talented students. And my gosh, we have a bunch.
The Pole Patrol is reporting for duty.
Thursday is National Pie Day, and we want to know, what's your favorite kind of pie?
Let's see what Riverside is craving this Halloween season.
Let's see how our staff and students weigh in on the great caramel or caramel debate. How do you pronounce this word?
Caramel.
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 Caramel. What's up, Riverside? My name's Ahmed, and this is your Ravens Sports Report.
So how do you think the team played today? How do you think your team did today? How do you guys think you played today?
I think we played really great.
That's all for today, Ravens. I'm Selena.
I'm Miriam. And I'm Yusuf. Thanks for watching and have a marvelous Monday.
Being part of RMS News has helped us become better communicators, collaborators, and problem solvers. We take pride in representing our school, and we know our work makes a difference every day. At RMS News, we don't just stick to one job. Everyone rotates through all the roles, from anchoring to editing, so we learn how the whole process works.
When you're anchoring, you learn how to stay calm, speak clearly, and keep the show moving. Even when someone coughs during your line, forgets to hit record, or you realize halfway through that you've been reading the wrong script.
Script writing is all about planning and communication. You have to think about what needs to be said and how to say it in a clear, interesting way.
Running the camera and mics teaches you focus and attention to detail. It only takes one unplugged cord or crooked shot to ruin the whole take, which, let's be honest, has definitely happened.
We all help with setup and cleanup. It might not be the most exciting job, but it's what keeps the studio running and the equipment in good shape.
Editing is where it all comes together. It's exciting to take raw footage and turn it into something the whole school sees.
We all switch jobs, we all learn the skills, and we all contribute. That's what makes RMS News more than just a class. It's a team.
Now that you've heard how RMS News impacts us, let's take a look at what the rest of Riverside has to say.
I'm Kelly Brayton.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Fawaz.
Hi, I'm Phil Abazid.
Hi, my name is Malik Salam.
Hi, my name is Ahad Afar.
Hi, my name is Mia Haydar.
I am Howard Bulmer.
My name is Liz Schoen.
Hi, my name is Whitman Ferguson.
Hi, my name is Melissa Cabesi.
I'm Darlene Herm. My name is Daniel.
Hi, I'm Vicky Metric.
I love seeing how kind of quiet and reserved the students are at the beginning of the year, and then by the end of the year, their confidence grows.
RMS News communicates to the whole school, making it easy and engaging.
The RMS News brings us news and connection every morning.
One thing I like about RMS News is the sports report.
RMS News provides plenty of opportunities for students.
Not only does it keep students updated on the daily news, but also allows students to express their creativity in many ways.
I have not been in a class that is required as much teamwork as RMS News. And it's one of the things where if someone doesn't do their job, it doesn't work. It doesn't go together.
Thanks to RMS News, my students' artwork reaches the whole school and it helps them to feel seen and valued.
What I like about RMS News is that they show the sport.
Students really take control of their learning. It's super professional and you can tell they really, really enjoy it.
After school, they're filming sports events and they're first on, last to leave.
I like the sports report because I like seeing my friends.
My favorite parts about the RMS News are that everybody gets the opportunity to participate or be acknowledged. Either it's their birthday, or Artist of the Week, or a shout out, or the Pole Patrol.
One of the biggest
highlights of our year was our behind-the-scenes trip to Fox 2 Detroit. We got to meet real anchors and producers, tour the studio, and even watch a live broadcast happen right in front of us. Some of us even made it on live TV. The director was so impressed with our work that she invited us back next year. Here's a look at that experience.
Hey Ravens, my name is Talia, and today the RMS News team is coming to you from Southfield, where we're getting a behind-the-scenes look at one of the city's most iconic news stations, WJBK Fox 2. We're here with Vice President Laura Moore for an exclusive tour to see how the professionals keep the news rolling. Let's check it out. So, what's a typical day here like at Fox 2?
Well, I'd like to say there's no real typical day because anything can happen, but we start our day with an editorial meeting where we all come together and we talk about what's important to our communities and our neighborhoods. We discuss what stories we're going to do and how we're going to do them, which ones are going to be reporter stories or which ones are just going to be video or where we're sending our photographers over the day. And then throughout the day, we're just monitoring all sorts of different news sources, figuring out what else is happening, what needs to be added into the show or taken out, or if a reporter needs to move off the story they're on or onto a different story. And it's just an all-day-long gathering of news. And then there's another meeting in the afternoon where the night side team comes in, they bring in their stories, and they start planning for the evening. But with it being a station that has so much news, you're constantly just gathering stories and trying to figure out the best way to cover them.
How do you prepare for a live broadcast?
Ooh, a live broadcast takes a lot of preparation because you want to make sure that you have all the facts. So I do my research. I go back to check all my stories. I'll check, because we have a lot of writers in here, as you can see, the newsroom, a lot of people write for me. So I go back and fact check to make sure that not only is it in my speak, like the way I talk, but also I'll check to make sure the facts have backup. You can't just check one source, you have to check multiple. That's part of the preparation. The other thing is I have to throw my face on, my makeup on, make sure I look good.
So, what kind of equipment do you use here?
All types of equipment, cameras, teleprompters. We have these bases and stools that go around the whole studio and bring up the shots that we need for when we need them.
Okay, so what would you say is the most important part of your job?
Most important part of my job is keeping track of the time and that we're on time.
Thank you. And that's a wrap for WJBK Fox 2. A big thank you to Laura Moore and the entire Fox 2 team for showing us what it takes to bring a professional news broadcast to life. It's inspired us so much to keep improving here at RMS News. Reporting from Southfield, I'm Talia. Back to your regular news.
Thank you for supporting programs like RMS News. We appreciate your time and we hope you enjoyed this glimpse into what we do every day.
RMS News is, RMS News has come a long way since we started in 2019. Our first episodes are on YouTube. If you go back, they're a lot rougher than what you just watched right there. But we've learned and improved every single year. This year was no exception. I have an exceptional team. Next year, we're piloting a new advanced class called RMS News 102 for students who want to go even further into storytelling, video production, writing, and more of what you just watched. It's a semester course to start, but as we move through, we hope to make it another year-long adventure. So we keep improving, keep giving students meaningful, real-world opportunities. Thank you guys for your time and for supporting the news.
Mr. Bajork, can you stay up for a second, please?
Sure.
I just want to tell you, this is my own personal opinion, is I'm so impressed. I've heard of RMS News, but when these students came up today, and you guys are really something else, and I just want to commend you for getting them to where they're at. Thank you guys, great job.
Thank you.
Mr. Baydoun? The other Mr. Baydoun?
So, yes. So we're going to take a group picture, if you don't mind, at this point. If you would just join me. Thank you. We now shift from student voices to student excellence. Every year, the Detroit News honors 25 seniors from across Michigan for academic excellence, leadership, and perseverance. Out of thousands of seniors across the state, 3 of them are from Crestwood High School. That's no small feat. Let's give them a round of applause. This is the 40th year of the Outstanding Graduates Program, and Crestwood is once again standing tall amongst the state's best. These students reflect not just the personal excellence, but the excellence of teachers, coaches, mentors, and families who've walked with them every step of the way, including the very staff we'll be honoring next. So let's celebrate each one. I begin with Mr. Hashim Saleh. If you don't mind joining me, Hashim. Hashim was actually sponsored by the Detroit Lions for this award, and it fell under the athletics heading. Hashim is a 3-sport scholar athlete, a NASA researcher, community leader, and National Honor Society member with nearly 300 service hours. Whether on the football field or in the lab or volunteering at Crossroads Soup Kitchens, Hashim leads with humility and heart. He'll be attending Dartmouth this fall. Give it up for Hashim. I know that he's with us with his parents. If you would like to join us, unless board members, you have anything you'd like to add, or do we just go right into the?
I know Trustee Amon has something he wants to add.
Oh, yeah. So just to say, I've known Hashim since his freshman year, and this past a couple of days ago we were talking, and I told him I'm so proud of him for what he's done. He told me thank you. I said, no, you're not. I should be thanking you, because I grew with Hashim also, watching him start when he started playing sports, and then anytime I needed something, if I needed help for an event, I'd call Hashim. He'd bring 40, 50 kids. Anytime I needed somebody to come mentor, I could call Hashim. He's there. Hashim, some kids have been struggling with a math class. Send them to the library, I'll meet them there. Or somebody needed help in class. You know, coach, whatever you guys need, I'm there. When I tell you, as many kids as I've worked with, especially over the last 25 years, he's probably one of the greatest young men I've ever worked with. And I'm not just saying it because he's standing here, because I used to always give him a hard time. Always give him a hard time. Even when he did something great, I tell him, you did good, I used to do it better. But Hashim, I've told you this a million times before. I'm proud of you. The community's proud of you. I know your family's proud of you. You've done a lot of great things, and we know for a fact that you're going to do so much more in the future. And I just want to tell you, man.
Thank you.
Really
we got
proud.
another one of your coaches that has something too. So Trustee Beydoun.
So I too met Hashim when he was a freshman, just like Trustee Amon, and I'm not going to reiterate what Trustee Amon said, but I do have to say, everywhere you looked, his parents were behind him. And I think that's what helped mold Hashim what he is. And it's funny because I do a lot of work on my personal work side, career side with Dartmouth, and we started talking about Hashim. They had nothing but great things to say about him and his family. So congratulations to you two. Hashim's hearing it too much in his life. We want to humble him a little bit. But you helped mold who he is. So with that, mabrok.
One last word for me. I've known you just as long. And Mr. and Mrs. Sala, you should hold your head high for your children in general. But this young man is remarkable. Congratulations to the entire family. I'm very proud of you, Hashim. I know we don't say that enough, because it would get to your head, but we're going to say it now.
We're going to ask that we take a picture with the board members at this time, or do you want to do it all together?
Let's do them all together, yeah.
You take a seat right now.
President Sabo, if I can interject real quick. I just got to tell a quick story about Hashim's dad. Okay, Mr. Sala, about 5 years ago, I was at one of my son's baseball games at Levergood Park, and Mr. Sala comes up to me and he goes, Dr. Masalam? I said, yes. He said, an individual told him he should come talk to me because he's debating where his children are going to go to school. And he said Crestwood is one of the choices. Thank God it all worked out, because I knew when I said to him, send your kids to Crestwood, they will get the best experience possible. I right away called Mr. Abdelhadi and said, make sure you take care of this kid. And Mr. Abdelhadi told me, like, after the first week, I don't need to take care of him. He's taking care of himself. So I'm so happy you chose Crestwood when you had a choice to make. So thank you.
Next, we have Muhammad Ali Al-Saba, who was one of the finalists under mathematics. Thank you. And he was sponsored by AAA Life Insurance. Muhammad blends academic brilliance with global impact. He's a Coca-Cola scholar, a Key Club International board member, a researcher selected by NASA and the University of Toledo, and a mentor for orphaned youth in Nigeria. This fall, he'll begin his journey at USC to become a pediatric surgeon. Give it up for Muhammad. Do you have anything you would like to add? Oh, me? Yeah. You guys have anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, you know, I've heard the name, and now I get to put a face with the name, and all I've heard was just remarkable things about you, and I have no doubt that you will do whatever it is that you say you're going to do. We're all very proud of you. Thank you for making our school district even better with everything that you've added back. Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you. Yeah, Trustee Amen.
So I know Muhammad's family, and I never knew, like I know his parents, but I never knew who he was. And when his mom was explaining to me about her son, and I saw the face, I said, your son's the kid that runs for fun. Because when we would be at football practice, Muhammad would be running through the neighborhoods for cross country and track. I used to think your son runs for fun, because that's what he told me one time. I said, what are you doing here? He said, I'm running for fun. So Muhammad, congratulations. You know, I wish you the best in all that you do.
Not one person in this room thought of Forrest Gump when he said it. I just want to make sure you know that. I'm kidding. No, we're very proud.
You aged yourself because he's like, who's that?
He's Forrest Gump, yeah. I know.
Mr.
Wow.
Thank you.
I really feel old. Go ahead.
If I just can add too, Muhammad, you know, I want to echo, he was a quiet leader. Like, he would get things done, and a lot of these kids don't realize, like, I'm looking from a distance, and I'm looking over people's shoulders to see how things are going, and he was always getting things done, but in a very quiet and humble fashion. So he's going to be, you know, he's going to do very well as he goes forward.
Very proud of you both.
Yes. I'm going to get this right, Hala. Hala Kumaiha. Right? She fell under the science umbrella, sponsored by Wolverine Solutions Group. Hala is Crestwood's valedictorian, a FIRST Robotics Dean's List finalist, a Jack Kent Cook scholar, and did I say that right?
Yeah, you got it.
And one of the most accomplished students in the country. She was accepted into MIT, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, Columbia, and chose
MIT.
to pursue electrical engineering and computer science. Give it up for Hala Komaiha.
And she's a regular here, Rashid. Like, I mean, Hala, you've done everything. Robotics, like, I told you and I told your parents, my God, they have just done a phenomenal job with all of you, but you're the one doing the hard work. All they can do is point in the direction, and you got to do all the work, and we're just so proud of you guys. Great job.
I just want to emphasize that this is a pretty big deal, that only 25 students were selected, and 3 of them are from right here in our Crestwood School District. So let's give them another round of applause.
Trustee Sable, real quick.
Trustee Baidoon?
I didn't get a chance to tell Muhammad congratulations, but also with Hala. I mean, I know living with a teacher who demands perfection and is a great teacher isn't easy, but I gotta tell you, whatever traits you picked them up from the house, and continue to do that and be great.
Right. Have you met her father?
I have not.
He's got very intelligent parents. I'll just let
I'm sure she does.
They've both done a fantastic job.
Perfect.
Mr. President?
Yes.
You know, each one of these students, Hala, she's been someone over the last 4 years that I know for a fact, whenever we needed something done, or whenever we needed to get something moving, or whenever we needed to find a solution to a problem, she was the first one there. She never shied away from a difficult conversation, And, you know, I said to her mom at one point, please give me the secret recipe to raising children so that I can do a better job myself. I mean, all three of these students and their parents make this job so much easier, but at the end of the day, it comes down to that's why we're here, and we appreciate three of you, but we appreciate your parents even more. So thank you.
Yep, at this point, we're going to take pictures. Parents can definitely join us as well. We'll just do them in groups if that's cool. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. All right, we'll continue with this evening. We turn now to the final part of tonight's Board Brightener, recognizing the individuals whose daily work and lifelong commitment built the very foundation our district stands on. Our retirees are not just employees who completed years of service. They are mentors, role models, and change makers who've left behind more than lesson plans and paperwork. They left behind legacies. And tonight, we say thank you. Before we recognize all those individuals, I do want to also thank the Dr. Musalam and really our team for allowing us this opportunity to use the Board Brightener to celebrate these types of activities, because I think this is what the district needs, is to hear the great things that are happening within our district. It's one thing to attend these meetings and, you know, we get, you know, parliamentary procedure and different things that are occurring, but this is how we celebrate the very heartbeat of our school. So thank you for allowing us to do this. I'm going to begin by orders of those that are in attendance. And so I'd like to recognize those individuals that are with us tonight. First, I'm going to begin with Ms. Kelly Brighton. Ms. Kelly Brighton, if you don't mind standing. Ms. Kelly Brighton has spent her entire 23 years of teaching career at Riverside Middle School, beginning as a student teacher and growing into a leader in both academics and the arts. She taught 5th and 6th grade, ran the student-to-student mentoring program, and for years co-directed the RMS Drama Club. Kelly takes deep pride in introducing middle schoolers to theater and helping them build confidence before heading to Crestwood High School, where many of her former drama students continue to shine. Her heartfelt message to students include, stick with it, you're immensely talented, and you can achieve anything together. In retirement, Kelly plans to support her daughter's theatrical dreams and spend more time with family. Kelly, thank you for being a teacher, director, mentor, and friend to so many. I I think we're going to wait at the end and then take pictures together, but do you have anything that you'd like to add?
I just want to say thank you. I have done my student teaching at Riverside Middle School, and I spent every single minute of my teaching since then. The district has changed so much, and it's really, really awe-inspiring to come here and see this beautiful building and just how the district has changed over the years. It's going to be weird come September because I brought, my kids are here and they've been there in my classroom since they were teeny tiny, and it's just a complete blessing to have this opportunity. Mr. Oscar Brown is here. He hired me back a couple years ago, but it's amazing to see. So thank you very much. I do appreciate this a ton.
Thank you, and congratulations.
Next, I'm going to ask Ms. Gofez to join us. Sophia Gofez. Ms. Sophia Gofez began her career in Crestwood in 1997 and has spent 29 years guiding the minds and hearts of young learners at Highview Elementary. She's taught second and third grade, always focused on nurturing a growth mindset and empowering students to become confident, lifelong learners. She once received a call from a former student about to graduate from Harvard Medical School who just wanted to say thank you. That says it all. Sophia has always believed that grit and effort matter more than luck, and her students are living testament to that belief. In retirement, she's looking forward to supporting her own children, caring for her parents, and maybe even playing some pickleball. Sophia, thank you for your wisdom, your example, and your endless heart. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Anything you'd like that?
Thank you for everything. It's been
Thank you.
a blessing.
Thank you.
Mr. President, could I say one word?
Yay,
So-
calm down.
Yeah, so both my kids had Ms. Gofis, so just thank you. And it was only a couple of years ago, I think, wasn't it? Just like 2, maybe? Anyhow, so thank you. They both survived.
Whew. Ms. Gabe Bowerstock. Okay. Ms. Gabe Bowerstock has served the Crestwood School District for 34 years as a school secretary, making her one of the longest-serving behind-the-scenes forces in our buildings. She has worked in nearly every school in the district with a spirit of reliability, warmth, and professionalism. Whether it's coordinating the day-to-day chaos or simply making sure someone felt seen when they walked through the office doors, Gay did it all. She says her most memorable experiences were the friendships she built, and we know those friendships, our memories, will last longer into her retirement. Gay, thank you for being the calm in the storm and the glue that held so many things together. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. Mr. President. Trustee Williamson?
So it's going to be really weird going into Highview now and not seeing you there, because there's another person who... Come on. So I'll give you my wife's cell phone number if you still don't have it after this. All right, congratulations.
Mr. President, it's got a funny story about Gay real quick. Every time I go to the school, before I leave, I say, Gay, is there anything I can do for you? You need anything? She goes, $1 million. She got the bond pass, but Gay, you don't get $1 million out of it.
Diana Johns.
50 years will do that, Ms. Johns.
I have chills. Miss Diana Johns, where do we begin? Diana has dedicated 50 years, yes, half a century, to the Crestwood School District. She started her journey at Haston Middle School and spent the last 49 years shaping generations of scientists at Crestwood High School. Her classes weren't just about science. They were about wonder, inquiry, perseverance, and joy. Deanna students have gone to win regional science fairs, earn national scholarships, and build careers in education and STEM, all inspired by her encouragement. She was named Michigan Earth Science Teacher of the Year, and just last week received an award from NASA's GLOBE program for 30 years of involvement. Deanna says she'll miss the laughter, the daily team lunches with her science colleagues, and the sparkle in students' eyes when something clicked. Her impact is immeasurable. Diana, thank you for being the soul of our science education at Crestwood. Your legacy is written in the stars and in every student who believed in themselves because you believed in them first. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It is, like they said, a blessing, and I'm getting tears in my eyes and my voice. But it's truly been a blessing to work with the families, the parents, the teachers, the whole staff that I've had a chance to work with. A chance to see Oscar Brown, my first assistant principal, and then later superintendent. All of the current board members. None of the things that we've done here at Crestwood would have been possible without the support of parents, board members like yourself, administrators. Everybody has truly made a difference for these kids, these 3 kids right here, and all the kids that belong to our district. I feel blessed to have had a chance to be a part of their lives and a part of the lives of so many families that I've gotten to know over the years. So thank you to everybody for this experience. It's been golden.
Ms. Johns? I had heard the name so many times over the years, and I'll tell a funny story real quick, how I met you in person. I live close to the high school, and I was turning off of one of the corner streets, and I see a car going in circles in a parking lot with the gate closed. And I'm like, well, I thought it was how did that person get in there? So I better pull up. I pull up, and I see Miss Johns driving around. I said, can I help you? She said, I'm Miss Johns, and I think Mr. Baydoun locked the gate on me before. I never told you this story. But you had been in the school. You didn't know. Listen, no, you were inside and you had left and you locked the gate like you normally would. But her car was in the back and you didn't know, so I was like, well, I'm sure he didn't know you were in here. She goes, oh no, I know he didn't know I was in here. But that's how I actually met. I met the legend, and honestly, everybody deserves a standing ovation. I want the 3 of you to know that. But 50 years, and all the National Honor Society folks, you made Dr. Musalam look really good. Not that he hasn't done a good job himself, but
No, you did.
I want to thank you personally. And as I mentioned to you over there in person, you will never be forgotten here. I can assure you that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. President.
Mr. Chair.
Trustee Ozat.
Dr. Johns, I have to tell you, and I'm sure you know, you're a Alzayat household, mention at dinner at least twice a week. I don't know, I'm sure you don't know this, but so all the Alzayat girls had Ms. Johns, and they all had their different experiences with you, and they tell your stories all of the time, and I just think that that is so special. You know, you challenged Medina, and I'm sure she challenged you. You put up with Mimi's socialness, you handled Miriam's babiness, and God bless you. We thank you. Congratulations to all, and thank you for being such an inspiration to my girls and for touching our lives. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Dr. Musalam? Somebody else? I'm sorry.
I think that was it? Yeah, I'd like to say something.
Yeah, go ahead, Trustee Baydoun.
Congratulations to all 3 of you. I can tell my daughter had Miss Gofish, Miss Bowersock. Every time I come to the building, you have it locked down and in order. And the one person who is scared to bypass that principal door, office door, because I know I'm going to get yelled at, but you kept everything moving. I mean, Ms. Brighton, you've done a great job over there. And Ms. Johns, I can tell you, being affiliated with Crestwood for over 15 years, I can tell you, all we do is hear is the kids talk about you. So congratulations and thank you all for what you've accomplished, really.
Trustee Janoon, then we'll go to you.
So I had the pleasure, different kids of mine had each one of you, and then, you know, I had the pleasure of knowing Mrs. Bowersock as well and getting to see her every day. But I think it's funny that, you know, Saeed had Mrs. Johns, and he used to come home and always quote something or warn me in reading labels and palm oil and don't eat anything with palm oil. And, you know, to this day, I'm always reading and I'm like, oh, got palm oil, and I think of Mrs. Johns. So it's funny because, you know, each one of you left an impact on each one of my kids, and it's, you know, this is what education is about. And you guys have the hardest job in the world. We sit up here and we look like, you know, we're making decisions, but it's you guys who, you know, who really make a difference in our students' lives. And we appreciate you guys more than you know. And each one of you, so I think you've all been here a really long time, and that's also a testament to, you know, your dedication to the community and to your students. So thank you guys, and you will be missed.
Actually, 136 years of experience.
Mr. Chair. I also just want to congratulate all of you and Mrs. Johns. My daughter Mariam loved you, and I know that my youngest is going to just be so upset because she comes in next year. And, you know, the oldest used to tell her all the time, you got to get Mrs. Johns. So disappointment for her, but congratulations to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Trustee Amon.
Just to echo what everybody says, congratulations to all of you. Thank you for everything that you've done. Ms. Bowersock, we met a couple years ago. When I first got appointed to the board, I walked into Highview, scanned, the door opened, and I had 4 dozen donuts in my hand. And the first thing she said to me is, how'd you get in here? With a smile, I was trying to say, I'm all, but how'd you get in here? I said, I scanned my card. Where'd you get the card from? I said, well, I just got appointed to the board. She's like, well, next time say that. I was like, okay, thank you very much. And I'm not gonna lie, I love it. Because I've said many times, there's times where I walk into places and nobody acknowledges that you're there, and you're standing there for a good 10, 15 minutes before someone says, can I help you? Thank you for everything. And Ms. Johns, there's been so many times I've sent you emails and asked you for help with NHS, and you'd send me some of the best and brightest, and I appreciate everything you've done. All you ladies, everything that you guys have done for the district, thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, Dr. Masalam.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I just want to say first, congratulations to all the retirees. You know, being a superintendent, it means nothing unless you have individuals as yourselves who work together for the safety and success of our children. And the 4 of you always did, and I do appreciate that. You know, I'm not on the ground floor, and what the great thing about it is I don't think there's any of you have never, all of you have always taken an opportunity to say to me, Dr. Masalam, and then I'll look and say Yusuf, and then you'll say Yusuf, and you'll say, what about this? What about that? Can we do this? Can we do that? And I appreciated that so much. But I can say, Mrs. Johns, I mean, you've gotten the honorary title of doctorate, because somebody called you a doctor at one point. We got to figure out how to get Wayne State to give you that doctorate. You know, this could be my next focus. But, you know, my wife, when I first became the superintendent of Crestwood, my wife said to me, you got to go meet Mrs. Johns. And my nieces and my nephews, you got to go see Mrs. Johns. She's the best. And my first meeting with Mrs. Johns was I asked her to talk about NHS, and we had a conversation about how we could expand it. And what humbled me in my conversation with you was I was this new kid on the block, this new guy. You had all these years of experience. Never once did you look at me as if I didn't know what I was talking about. You listened, and you spoke to me, and you gave me an understanding of things I didn't know, and I learned from that moment that you truly are the epitome of what 50 years of an educator means. And when any of our great educators retire, it's like losing a piece to a very important puzzle. So thank you all. We can't replace you, but we'll do the best we can to find somebody that will slightly fit into your shoes. Thank you again.
So board members, at this point in time, we're going to take pictures with you all. Oh, I'm sorry. So while we're doing that,
We'll walk around while you're.
yes, perfect. So we obviously have some other retirees who couldn't make it with us today. We're going to also post these vis-a-vis our website. This is a great way for me to remind you to please download the app and stay in tune with everything Crestwood. Mr. Anthony Robinson, who serves as our speech pathologist for 26 years. He was a quiet and constant, worked behind the scenes to support students. Miss Julie Bates, 36 years, dedicated her life to language education, teaching both Spanish and French. And last but not least, Miss Rebecca Molka, 30 years, spent in public education, most of them at Riverside, who taught 5th and 6th grade as well. Thank you to all of our retirees.
Mr. Brown, please join us as a former superintendent who hired.
Who is my superintendent?
Thank you, Mr. Brown. No, you're right.
Yes, you are. Wait, you need to be in it, don't you? No, I'm not family. Ms. Johns, don't call people up and yell. Listen, but you know where to go. If you want to make Mr. Singh feel.
You might want to. No, keep him away from me, man. Those too big.
I put it, I sent them.
Thanks.
You want me in between them?
Mom, come on, Mom. Mom, come on. That was
Go to the website, you get the pictures.
Can I just get you to shift? Yeah, sorry. My apologies. I don't know why we all tend to be.
Thank you.
Did I get your last name? Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Huh? Yes. Me, oh, no, I'm done. Sir Oscar Brown, yeah.
We can go ahead and continue the meeting.
This concludes our board, Breitner.
Thank you.
so very much.
Thank you, Mr. Baydoun. Congratulations to all the retirees. Oh, trustee Janu?
So I'd like to read off a So from our community partner appreciation for, was it just during Teacher Appreciation Week, where we had several community partners make some donations as well as some individuals. So for Crestwood High School, we had Al Sayed Meat Market, who donated breakfast and lunch. Hashem's Meat Market as well donated breakfast and lunch. The CCEF donated cookies and some brownies. The Crestwood High School PTA donated several treats as well. For Riverside Middle School, El Sayed Meat Market, again, breakfast and lunch, and Hashem's Meat Market, breakfast and lunch as well. CCEF donated, again, some brownies and cookies, and CAB donated some breakfast items. We'd also like to thank our Highview Elementary School, our Highview PTA, and again, the CCEF. So Hillcrest PTA, Rita's Italian Ice, who is owned by parents in the district, Muhammad Rizka, donated some custard ice. And the Hillcrest PTO, again, you know, our PTOs and PTAs do a wonderful job. They breakfast and lunch for our teachers and our staff. And Papaya in Dearborn Heights donated fresh fruit. Kinlock Elementary PTA, you know, served their staff some breakfast and lunch as well, and the parents made several donations to the school. And for the early childhood, we'd like to also thank the CCEF again and Zainab Beydoun, our secretary, who donated breakfast to our staff. So it was a wonderful week where, honestly, they were showing their appreciation for our teachers and staff. We just wanted to thank everybody for that.
Thank you. All right, public comments. Trustee Williams, Secretary Williams.
This meeting of the board is held in the public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There is time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in the agenda. This is not the time for debate or argument. Do not mention any student or staff names. In order to permit a fair amount of allotted time to participants, speakers will be limited to 3 minutes. The president may extend the time to 5 minutes per person when needed. Up to a half an hour is provided for public input. Please direct all questions to the board president. So, Mr. Ferenzi.
Okay. Is it possible I could talk for about 5 minutes or not?
Typically, I would not have, we've already run over, so how about if I do 4? Is that okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
First thing I'd like to mention is about the Crestwood Board of Education website. When you get into the website and click on Board of Education and click on calendar, it lists mostly when schools are open or closed. It should include when all the meetings are, right? But they don't. So no one knows about the meetings. And then also on the agenda, the very last item should always be when the next 2 or 3 meetings are, to let people know. Over the past year and a half, I've been collecting some interesting articles about education, so I thought I would just list some of the titles and then give all these articles to the president to read and peruse, because they're really pretty interesting. Last time I was here, I was mentioning that the birth rate, because you need babies to have a school. So the birth rate was super low, and there were 2 articles in the Wall Street Journal about it, followed by President Trump saying that for every new baby, you get $5,000. So I was ahead of my time. Last time I was here, there was a big report about the students' robotics class, which is really good. There was an article in the Wall Street Journal, not robots, but about humanoid robots, where they have feet, legs, body, arms, head, and they were in a race, a half a marathon, 13 miles, and they had 21 of these robots, but only 6 finished. Well, what happened to the others? Some of them started the race, and they just stopped and sat down and didn't move. Some of them crashed into a fence. Some of them, the battery went out. So the more they teach about robotics, it's better. It's really good, because I can just imagine 10 years, 15 years from now, China, which this was a race in China, they're going to have an army of these robots with guns. It's really sad. Next item. I noticed in the fall, I drove by Kinlock, and there's a film on a lot of the windows. Why was that done?
A film, you said?
There's a film, like a film, so you can't see through the windows to see people in the school.
A tint, you mean? Is it
No,
like
it's like a special film with characters on it.
I mean, we can get the answer for you. I'll get the answer for you from the administration.
Well, anyway, there was an article that said schools are being misled by safety claims. A lot of schools have bought this film saying that it would stop bullets if people were shooting up schools. It turns out that's not exactly true. So they had several articles about AI and how students are using AI. And the article says, when your child uses AI to cheat. It says, high school senior from New Jersey doesn't want the world to know that she cheated her way through English, math, and history classes last year. So a lot of these students are getting, probably higher grades than they should because they're using AI. So what do the students do? They actually, what do the teachers do? They actually run these essays and tests through an AI detector to see if they used AI. So then what do the students do? Students turn to AI to prove robots didn't write their essays. They're actually using robots against robots to see if they didn't use AI, so the teachers will give them a good grade. There were several articles about marijuana that kids have in middle school and high school, and not one of the articles were in favor of it. One article says, what you aren't hearing about marijuana. Another one says, potent forms of cannabis ravages teens. The latest article was really something. Drinks with weed gain popularity. There's cans that look like cans of Coke or Pepsi that now are infused with marijuana. And you can buy these at gas stations and grocery stores or at your favorite cafeteria. There's an article there's several articles about cell phones. Not one article was in favor of cell phone use by students. One article says screens are taking over in American classrooms. In first grade, students use computer screens, cell phones, 45 minutes a day. By the time that they're in 8th grade, they're using cell phones for 2 hours a day. Ay, ay, ay. There was an article.
Frenzy, I'm sorry, but time's up.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Frenzy, thank you. I will pass on your email to the administration and get an answer for you on the tints on the windows.
Okay.
And thank you for bringing up the meetings on the site. It's something that we've been talking about. We'll get back.
I'll give you all these articles and you can read.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, next comment is from Ms. Arzoni.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Good evening. I want to thank the administration. You guys did a great job, with the district turning it around. I want to say congratulations to the honor students. I know they're already gone. I don't know if you guys can hear me that well. Congratulations to all the students, and of course, Mrs. Johnson, after her 50th years of being in the school district. That's amazing. I just wanted to basically also congratulate her. My kids actually went to school, the Crestwood School District, and it's an honor. It's an honor actually, seeing those wonderful teachers, and I just wanted to show appreciation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Arzoni. Okay. Ms. Morgan, I think you have our business report ready to go since you were here on Saturday.
The first one is the approval of the 24-25 confirming purchase orders. The attached confirming purchase orders are items that needed to be processed prior to the board approval. Mr. Chair.
Vice President Janoon.
I recommend the Crestwood Board of Education approve the confirming purchase orders as per attachment 6A.
Support. Recommendation by Vice President Janoon that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the confirming purchase orders as per attachment 6A, supported by Treasurer Amon. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
The next is the approval of the 24-25 requisitions. The attached list of requisitions are items the buildings or departments would like to purchase for their upcoming needs. The requisitions have gone through all the appropriate approval processes and have been approved by administration for purchase. In addition, there are funds available to make these purchases. Once the requisitions are approved, they will be processed and purchase orders will be sent out.
Mr. Chair,
Trustee Elzayat.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the 2024-2025 requisitions as presented in attachment 6B.
Support.
Recommended action by Trustee Elzayat that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the 2024-2025 requisitions as presented in attachment 6B, supported by Trustee Baydoun. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any discussions? That's a good point, Trustee Lynch. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution for local district vote on Wayne Risa budget. Michigan law under section 380-624 of the revised school code requires each constituent school board of Wayne Risa to participate in Wayne Risa's budget development process. Not later than June 1st of each year, each local school board must review the proposed budget, adopt a board resolution expressing its support for or disapproval of the proposed changes the constituent district board recommends on the budget. The Wayne Risa board is then obligated to consider the specific objections and proposed changes. Attached is a copy of the preliminary 25-26 Wayne Risa budget for your review and a model resolution to adopt by the board. Upon review of the documents and seeing no objections to its content, I am recommending that the Board of Education adopt the attached resolution supporting Wayne Risa's 25-26 general fund operating budget.
Mr.
A roll
Chair.
call is needed for this.
Trustee Baydoun.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the Wayne Risa General Fund Operating Attachment 6C.
Support.
Recommendation that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the Wayne Risa General Fund Operating Attachment 6C. Motion by Trustee Baydoun, supported by Vice President Janoun. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, I think they said we need to do a roll call on this.
Any discussion first?
Oh, no.
Yeah, we'll come to it. No discussion? Yeah, we're going to do a roll call. So Trustee Williamson? Thank you. Thank you, Trustee Amon.
Trustee Amon?
Yes.
VP Janoun?
Yes.
Trustee Elzayat?
Yes.
Trustee Baydoun?
Yes.
President Sabal?
Yes. Yes.
Trustee Fawaz?
Yes.
I vote yes.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Approval of Vision to Learn agreement. The purpose of this agreement is to provide vision services to district students who require a follow-up examination as designated by Wayne County Health, Human, and Veteran Services.
Mr. Chair,
Trustee or Vice President Janoun?
I recommend the Crestwood Board of Education approve the Vision to Learn agreement as per attachment 6D.
Recommended action by Trustee Janoun that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the Vision to Learn agreement as per attachment 6D, supported by Trustee Amon. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Next, approval of the 2025 millage resolution. Attached is the Form L4029-2025 tax request, which calculates our millage rates for the 25-26 school year. We are authorized by levy to levy 18 mills on non-homestead and non-qualified agricultural property to help support general fund operations. In March 2020, the voters approved a 3.0 additional mills, which will be used in increments to increase our millage rate to the statutory rate of not to exceed 18 mills. By passing the additional 3 mills, our millage rate has been brought up to 20.372, allowing for a cushion of 2.3720 for years when there is a rollback factor. For the 25-26, the current rollback factor is 0.9728. This is the 8th year of our debt service millage related to the 2016 bond issue. In order to make our 25-26 debt service payments, of $1,970,300, the district will levy 1.41 mills upon all property in the school district. This is the first year of our debt service millage related to the 2024 bond series, number 1. In order to make our 25-26 debt service payments of $5,543,465, the district will levy 5.14 mills upon all property in the school district. All 3 of these millages will be levied half in July and half in December. It should be noted that the debt service millage rate for 25-26 is 6.5500. This was, just as a side note, this was what the bond predicted when we first went out to bid for the bond or election. In March 2020, the voters approved I did that twice, I'm sorry.
By passing an additional 3 mills?
Yeah, wait, that's twice. I read the paragraph twice, sorry. But a roll call is needed for this.
Mr. Chair,
Trustee Elzayat.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education adopt the 2024 millage levy resolution approving an 18.0 mill levy on non-homestead and non-qualified agricultural property to support general operations of the school district, and 6.5500 milk debt levy to service current year principal and interest debt payments. See attachment 6E.
Support.
Recommended action by Trustee Elzayat that the Crestwood Board of Education adopt the 2024 millage levy resolution approving an 18 mill levy on non-homestead and non-qualified agricultural property to support general operations of the school district, and 6.55 mill debt levy to service current principal and interest debt payments. See attachment 6E, supported by Vice President Janoun. Any discussion? I have a question, just so that we are clear to the folks. I understand where you're, I think you know where I'm going, right? This is not a alley-oop or lob, but the mills that we're discussing, we have discussed non-homestead in the past. These are things we renew quite often.
Yes.
And the mills that we did through the bond and everything else are not affected through this per se, aside from this is nothing more than a bridge?
That 18 mil?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure it was clear. All right, we are going to take a roll call vote for this.
Trustee Amen?
Yes.
VP Janoun?
Yes.
Trustee Baydoun?
Yes.
President Sabal?
Yes.
Trustee Elzayat?
Yes.
Trustee Fawaz?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Next is the 24-25 budget amendment. Administration is requesting that the Crestwood Board of Education adopt the amendment for 24-25 budget as presented in attachment 7F. This amendment recognizes changes that occurred in revenue. Additionally, capital outlay purchases, decrease in construction improvement. The budget amendments anticipate a stable fund balance.
Mr. Chair,
Trustee Elzayat.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the 2024-2025 amended budget as presented in attachment 6F.
Support.
Trustee Elzayat recommends that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the 2024-2025 amendment budget as presented in attachment 6F, supported by Treasurer Amen. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes.
Next, approval of out-of-state field trip for CHS. Crestwood High School Band Program is requesting to take a field trip to Cedar Point. There will be approximately 100 students who will be attending.
Mr. Chair,
Trustee Fawaz.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the out-of-state field trip to Cedar Point for Crestwood High School Band. See attachment 6G.
Support.
Recommendation by Trustee Fawaz that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the out-of-state field trip to Cedar Point for Crestwood High School Band. See attachment 6G, supported by Trustee Elzayat. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And the last one for today is the approval of cooperative agreement for Livonia Transition Program. Crestwood administration would like to renew the cooperative education program agreement for the purpose of allowing certain Crestwood students to receive special education services provided and through Livonia in accordance with the terms of the cooperative education program agreement and consistent with the pertinent provisions of the revised school code of 1995 and the State School Aid Act of 2017-2018 as amended. It is further the purpose of the agreement to permit special education students from Crestwood to utilize classroom positions at the Livonia Transition Program.
Mr. Chair,
Trustee Fawaz?
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the cooperative agreement between Livonia Public School District and Crestwood School District for the Special Education Livonia Transmission Program, LTP, for the 2025-2026 school year. See attachment 6H.
Support.
Trustee Fawaz recommended action that the Crestwood Board of Education approve the cooperative agreement between the Livonia Public School District and Crestwood School District for the Special Education Livonia Transition Program, also known as LTP, for the 2025-2026 school year. See attachment 6H. Any discussion?
Yes.
Trustee Alzea.
I just wanted to thank the Livonia LTP because I know that they do an amazing job, and we often get asked the question, why aren't we doing this in Crestwood schools? And I'll tell you that this agreement that we have Livonia allows us to offer our students things that they might get here if we were able to do them here, but even better. They take it to another scale, and these are the decisions that as board members I'm happy that we make, because this is a decision we're making because we know it's the best thing for the students. Not necessarily that we want to do it and we want to take credit for it, but this MOU with LTP, I'm grateful for, and I'm grateful that the kids who need this service are getting it, and they're getting great service.
Does Dearborn have an LTP program, or are they utilizing Livonia?
Dearborn has an LTP
They
program.
do have an LTP?
They have LTP, they call it, it's like a sub. So they do both.
They do both, okay. Any other discussion? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Just knowing that, would it be beneficial for us to look at their program too, to partner with?
They don't offer this.
Oh, they don't offer it, okay.
That's not the reason
thought
I
you
asked,
said-
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I was just curious.
No. Okay.
Curiosity killed the cat, I just died, but anyway. Okay. I guess the only thing I would ask Dr. Musalam is, I mean, based on the fact, and I know Trustee Alzayat has a lot of experience with these programs, and I know you guys do too, but I would just ask that we are, from a finite perspective, paying attention to every single student with every single detail. And I think, I'm going to reference, the fact that sometimes things happen in these programs that we should be made aware of, and I'm sure that they do a really good job of it. But I think these are things that we need to keep track of, and they should be presented to the board as they happen. And you do a fantastic job of sending us memos on everything. But I would really like to make sure, the successes, some of the opportunities that we have with the LTP program. At the end of the day, it's a contract between us and Livonia. I think we should be able to ask for certain things if we see something that can make the program better. So I would just ask that you keep us in tune with all that in any specific situations, irregardless of, who the student is representative of, if you know what I mean.
Of course.
Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and put a vote on it. Is it all in favor? Please signify by stating aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, thank you, Ms. Morgan. Well, this is the part that I seem to have a wonderful time with, but are there any agenda items in the personnel report which board members or the superintendent wish to discuss and vote on separately? If there are, we will exclude these from the motion below. Hearing none. At this time, I will call for a single motion to approve all of the action items on the personnel report with no exceptions of any items which have not been mentioned by anyone. So anybody have a recommended action for the motion?
Mr. President,
Yes. Trustee Williamson.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education approve action items on the personnel report labeled
8A through,
It's not in here, you know that.
it never is.
Yeah, it's not, because if you take items out, it would be action items 6A, A, B, and C. 7A, B, and C.
I apologize.
That's good.
As recommended in this agenda, effective pending acceptable criminal background checks and employment documentation required by law.
Support.
Motion by Secretary Williamson that the Crestwood Board of Education approve action items on the personnel report labeled 7AA, B, and C as recommended in the agenda. Effective pending acceptable criminal background checks and other employment documentation as required by law, supported by Trustee Elzayat. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. I think that was it for that, right? Yep. New hire recommendations are all there, so it is you, Dr. Musalam.
Thank you, President Sabo. Thank you, Board. All right, so we're in the superintendent's report. We have,
Mr. Chair, I think we've missed B and C.
They were added. 7AA, B, and C.
Oh, that C is a part of the,
Did you want to pull that
no,
out?
no.
Yeah,
That's,
7AA, B, and C.
okay.
Yeah.
I think I have a different sheet than everybody else. Yeah, I don't think that's correct. I think C is not a part of the,
no, it can all be combined as one.
oh, C as well?
Yes.
Did you want to pull it out?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Did you want it removed? No. Okay, I just want, okay.
Yeah, we just do the business report separately because it's contracts and
Got it.
financial. So,
Thank you.
Sure.
thank you. It's better that we asked and make sure we got it. All right, superintendent's report. I have 3 items for you today for approval, and we have some informational items. The first action item is the first reading of Board Policy Update 39-2 was on April 7th, 2025. This is the second reading. We are asking the board to approve Board Policy 39-2 as presented. Just as an additional note, these are changes in language from legal, as well as some updated language that has been adjusted through the policy firm.
Vice President Janu?
I recommend the Crestwood Board of Education approve board policy updates 39 through 39, is it just? -2, as presented in attachment 8A.
Support.
Recommendation from Vice President Janu that the Crestwood Board of Education approve board policy updates 39-2 as presented in attachment 8A, supported by Treasurer Amon. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. Next is board policy second reading to remove policy 6605. The recommended actions that the Crestwood Board of Education approve removing policy 6605 as presented. See attachment 8B. Again, this is due to a change in the law.
Mr. Chair,
Vice President Janu?
I recommend the Crestwood Board of Education approve removing board policy 6605 as presented in attachment 8B.
Support. Vice President Janu, recommended action that the Crestwood Board of Education approve removing Board Policy 6605 as presented in attachment 8B, supported by Treasurer Amon. Any discussion?
Yeah, Mr. Chair?
Yes, Secretary Williamson.
Not necessarily on this item, but just in policies in general. I recently did some of the classes, and a lot of the other districts, they rotate, they do the board policies, and they just basically redo them. They do them in like a 3-year cycle. Since we redid them a couple years ago, I thought, as maybe for later discussion, is maybe we should be just like taking a chunk every month in a committee and just reading over and make sure everything still looks good. Just a recommendation.
We used to have, we would do that, and then I think what's beneficial about that is they get discussed at the committee level, and then they get brought to the board, then the board can discuss them, but I do agree we should be looking at them.
Yeah, it just, because I actually did have a meeting with Dr. Salam, and we were just talking about maybe just if there's any changes, then we bring it to the meeting. But we probably should eventually, like, trying to go through a cycle of where we go through the whole thing every few years or so.
So I know that when we originally signed up with
Neola?
Neola, a big part of that was because of the consistent updates with laws and changes and recommendations on what certain school districts are doing. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Musaman. I have no issue with looking at something like that personally. It's something we can discuss. We brought up committees in the past again. You know, I don't want a committee free-for-all, obviously, as we may have had quite a few in the past. It's something you guys want to open up again? I don't.
I'll just say, Mo, I really do think there's a benefit to having a committee with 3 school board members on it, because other people can be on the committee too. It gives time for more detailed discussion about the things that are on the agenda and the moving parts, and it gives you time to do that and then bring that stuff to the board. And I think it's nice if, like, we could all serve on some committees and then, like, report back, talk to each other. I don't know. I do like the idea.
It's something to talk about, absolutely.
Yeah, and just as an example, like AI is so new and stuff, is that should be something that maybe we should start including more into our policy. Because, I mean, when you did it, it just no cheating. But now that it's teachers' tools and stuff like that, it's just an example of newer things that maybe should be part of a policy.
We'll go to Vice President, and then I'll come to you, Trustee Forbes.
I thought the idea was to start having the meetings during study. I thought the idea
No,
was.
we only did that the 1 year because we were going through policy. So we decided that all of our study session would be
She means
devoted.
committees.
I
Yeah,
thought committees.
So-
Committees in general.
You guys got rid of
correct.
committees.
So we put committees on hold. We started doing the policy, and then we were supposed to go back to our committees, which we still haven't done. And to do them at study session, I think is great for the committee report to take place at study session, for the entire board to discuss whatever took place in committee.
So you weren't, when we were, earlier we were talking about like the bond one, because I know like David's not gonna be here for that, so I just said, why don't we just do that one? Well, really, I think the bond one should be more public.
Study
Just
session.
because
Right.
study sessions, I don't care, I'll serve, we can do committees.
I'm not saying to not have discussions at study session
Yeah.
about the committees. I agree, the committees should come to study session. There should still be a committee meeting, though, where board members and other school district employees or community members take part in that committee. Then they can come to study session where we are able to tell our counter partners at the table, like,
you guys have an
I'm a
idea?
board member, I'm on a committee, I'm able
Yeah.
to tell you guys, this is what took place at committee, these are the things we discussed. I can take all of this stuff, talk about it at committee, I can take the priority stuff, bring it to study session for all of us to discuss.
That's fine, I was under the impression.
I think you're talking about two different things.
Yeah, I was just under the impression that you guys weren't doing
I
committees
thought you were talking
anymore
about two different
from
things. So,
before, but.
I
that's-
am all for
that's
what
fine.
you're saying when it comes to the bond being a part of study sessions, the bond committee itself being a part of study sessions, because of the
Sensitivity.
sensitivity and the transparency and ensuring that not just us, but that the public is aware of things that are happening throughout that bond committee. And it's
I
something we can
agree.
take off note.
I agree, it should come to study session. I still would advocate for, like all of the other committees, that the committees still meet, then it can come to study session. If you want, we can dedicate a certain amount of time for every study session to make sure that we go over bond committee update.
How long do those meetings go, the bond committee meetings?
An hour.
About an hour.
Okay, so we can do it in the study session.
But then what other, if you want that at every meeting, then
I didn't
what
say
other?
every meeting. Well, I mean, how many bond meetings do
I
you
mean,
have?
you don't think that they should take place monthly, some type of update to the people? To-
That's why we're doing it, so it's an update for the people. as
But
we
then
go.
what committee would you, then we wouldn't be able to have time for other committees. If we,
You would see it
if we
real time.
dedicated the whole study session,
The study sessions can be as long as we want them to be. We can start at 5 instead of 5:30.
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't agree, but I'm just
That's
saying.
fine, I
like,
respect
yeah.
that, but I mean, that's
I
something
mean,
that we should.
Because then we wouldn't have time for our other committees that we want to start, and then we want to rotate them in.
Yeah, that's the
So
thing
if we
is,
only did bond committee, so like, if we need an hour for our bond committee meetings.
Yep.
And you guys want to, you guys are saying, don't have the bond committee meetings anymore, just have them during the study session, that means that for bond committee, we still would need that hour, then you're looking at an hour and a half to 2 hours of study session because you want to add other stuff in too. And not only committees during study session, but other
Well, right,
things
right.
that need to be discussed.
Yeah, no, I'm not, I understand where you're coming from.
How often are we meeting with the bond?
Once a month?
So right now, we've been
No.
meeting about once every month and a half, because it's based on where we're at in the progression.
Yep.
So the next bond meeting that is scheduled for the subcommittee is because we're at the next progression where we're finalizing the documents, and we want to present it to the subcommittee, the subcommittee's feedback. Then the idea was that the subcommittee, we were then going to present at a community forum, because we're at the point right now. The thing with the bond that I want everyone to understand is that up to this point, it's a lot of minutia. It's a lot of like getting things situated. And in the previous subcommittee meetings, I know the team, presented out to the community on what was discussed, so on and so forth. I know in other districts, what they do is they have committees on rotation. They don't have every committee meet every year. They might have 2-3 committees on rotation each year. So one year it could be, well, we got the bond, one could be policy, infrastructure, but infrastructure is with the bond, so there's different options. But in terms of the bond, once we start the work, which is supposed to start right after the students' last day of school, there'll be more to report because you'll start seeing the progress. So the next report that we're going to give the subcommittee is where we're seeing our final draw-ups and our chronological bid process, so on and so forth, to give that subcommittee an update. Subcommittee can give us feedback, make final adjustments when we come to the board, and then we start getting to work.
Our next board meeting is June the 16th.
Yes.
So it's pretty much aligned with that.
You'll see crews like that. We're done Thursday or Wednesday.
For the 12th, 13th.
You'll see crews starting on that Monday.
All right. And the reason I say this is I think quite a few people have raised the fact that they want this stuff to be, unless you're going to make the committee meeting for the bond a public meeting that's actually televised and people can attend, which I don't think it is right now, okay?
No, subcommittee
I know.
meetings, yeah, they're not.
But
I'm just saying in general, all
I'm stating
subcommittees.
something I know, so
Yeah.
I wasn't doing it to be facetious, but
Gotcha.
I think we just gotta make sure, because there's gonna be a lot of change orders, there's gonna be a lot of things that are still gonna be brought to the board that I want people to understand, and that's some of the things that have been shared with me from some of the board members, so it's
That's
something.
why they should be given an update at study session for sure, and then they're voted on at the regular meeting. But to me, it wouldn't take away from the committee meeting, and don't.
As of right now, you're the only one that feels that way, because I'm just telling you, everybody has said that this is something they want. But I think we should talk about it. It doesn't have to be today, but probably should be, because
It was brought up because I know David couldn't go to the next meeting. I had people saying that they want, they were.
Be a part of it.
They were wondering why they weren't a part. And I just said, honestly, I just figured we weren't doing committees, so I just didn't think it was that.
In
But I
fairness,
didn't realize you guys were supposed to bring committees back.
we're not gonna, listen, there was a list of
I had no.
10 or
yeah, I
12
had-
committees at one point, if you remember the list being
So
distributed.
that's why I wanted to
I mean,
interject.
that's not gonna happen, but.
So in the past, the reason these subcommittees failed, and I'm gonna say failed, and not just in our time, but before our time, okay, is because there was a chair for every committee, and I don't know if, you were here for some of them,
Some of
but there was
them,
a
yeah.
chair for every committee, and they're supposed to
I was
take.
here when we had committee.
There was supposed to take minutes at every subcommittee. They're supposed to come back and update the board on, what was discussed, the summary, and provide the minutes. And I can tell you, just in my time here, that never happened. Like, I never got minutes from any meeting. You don't get that kind of
I
feedback.
don't know if you'd say I don't think they met. We didn't, how often do we really have subcommittee meetings?
Mr. Chair,
I mean, I know I met with, like, even when Lynn was here, and she was
Yeah.
like, Lynn was probably the only one that actually took minutes properly, but other than that, nobody ever took the minutes. It was never sent out to like, you're supposed to get minutes, provide the information to everybody on the board, That's why I think honestly, and especially with the bond one, or really any other one, instead of making, you know, an extra meeting for it, we add an hour or two or whatever it is to our regular meeting. People see it live, real time, and, you know, it's recorded, so you can always go back and reference it if you missed something or you missed it or any of that, but people are seeing things real time and we're having it.
Thank you.
I think in fairness, I don't think 12, 15 committees is very beneficial, for the record, okay? But there are certain situations, for an example, the bond committee. I'm not on the bond committee, FYI. I'd love to know the details, right? I was talking to Yusuf today about something and he brought something to my attention that I didn't know, right? But I think this is a very professional setting, as I'm sure the committee meetings are, but you have employees and community members that will attend the bond committee meetings, right? Isn't that what they're made up of?
The subcommittee is just the administration, the architects,
Okay.
the construction manager, and the 3 board members that are part of the subcommittee.
Okay, so there's a lot of discussion that will be had in behind those closed doors that I feel like this setting may not be, I don't want anyone to hold back. And
Why
when
would
you, I don't know, because it is a different setting here,
No, okay, hold on.
right?
Now,
So-
we gotta,
That's
I
a
wanna make
different
sure, I wanna make sure we're not I know what you mean, but I wanna make sure that it's not mistranslated by anyone.
Sure.
We should always be transparent, and we should always be transparent to the voters. right?
Transparent isn't my comment. My comment is someone who, like a private firm or architect firm or whoever that may have some ideas that isn't comfortable speaking in this type of setting will hold back. Not many people are.
I don't know what's going
Comfortable
on. Is that what's
on-
happening in those meetings, Dr.
So,
Masalim?
I'm gonna go off of what Trustee Baydun is talking about, because in those meetings, so the reason why we request having the subcommittee meeting as is, and then having a community forum, is so that we can present to the community, they can give feedback, but in those subcommittee meetings, in that hour, it is very focused. It is, here's what we have, here's what we need to do, here's where this water line is, here's where this gas line is, this is how much concrete we need here, we need to move this entrance over here to make this, I mean, there are a lot of minutia, a lot of fine tuning. Well, when we come out of that subcommittee meeting, and we come to a large committee, let's say like at a study session, like for example, we come out of the subcommittee meeting, and instead of having a separate community forum to present the bond, like where we're at, we can do that at a study session. Like that would be one less meeting we would invite the community to. In that, there will be a PowerPoint presentation, there'll be an explanation, there'll be chronological order. This is what's been done, this is the next steps, this is what's going to be done. We can open it up for questions. The thing about a bond, and I want to say this in a very professional, respectful manner, a lot of times people want to bring into the conversation what they did at their home or what they did at their business. It's different in a school. It's, you know, we have a bidding process. We have to go through, you know, it's not always the lowest bidder, you know. There's a lot of things as such. And there's a lot of times people, I hear it all the time, oh, I could have did this a lot cheaper, I did it. Well, no, at a school, there's more codes, there's more zoning issues, there's a lot of different things. So what we're able to do in that subcommittee meeting is filter through the minutia to come out with what the final product is potentially gonna look like. And that's why we've held off and not had a community forum yet, because we're gonna be there after the next subcommittee meeting. But prior to this last subcommittee meeting coming up, we weren't there yet, because we're still, as of today, we're still making adjustments.
So what you're saying is after this next subcommittee meeting, we could start doing those meetings during study session?
We would still need subcommittee meetings, because remember, the project is 3 phases. So now that we're preparing to break ground on phase 1, we would still need those subcommittee meetings, because we're still gonna be working on phase 2 and potentially working on phase 3. And in those subcommittee meetings, what will happen moving forward is for example, like change orders will come across those subcommittee meetings, so that when we do come to the study session, the subcommittee can present, these are the changes that were made, this is what was explained to us, they can talk it through, we're here to answer questions as well. Community will know, hey, this study session is gonna talk about where we're at in the bond process. The subcommittee meetings actually help us with the board members that are there to make certain decisions. And the nice thing about it is the construction managers, the architects, or other individuals that need to be in that meeting that know those specific industry or technical skills that need to be done on something, or the code or the law, they're there to explain it to the subcommittee. Where then, when it comes here and it's presented out, you know, we can also, like, for example, if we're gonna replace a study session with a community forum event, for say, and let's say you said, let's start at 5, we'll go 5 to 6. I would have our construction manager here, so that if there's any, him as well as Jamal
And you
L.
would know ahead of time that that's what the focus is.
Yeah, so they'll be here, so like them, Jamal L., my team, they'll be here, so that if there's any questions that Penny or I can't answer specifically, Jamal can answer, the construction manager can answer. The subcommittee meetings do help us. And again, because this is a 3-phase project, those subcommittees, and they may not be monthly, the subcommittee meetings may be every 2 months, but it's based on where we're at in that process. Because, for example, when we break ground and we're starting asbestos removal, the day the kids are out, all elementary schools, you know, 2 are gonna start right away, 1's gonna be a little later, but it's all gonna get done in the summer. There's really not gonna be much to report out during asbestos removal, because they're removing the asbestos. But what we report out in the next conversation is gonna be, okay, asbestos removal starts on this date. After this is the next thing, this is next. This is when these bid packages are gonna go out. Here are the new renderings, here are the new drawings. Anything that changes during that process, we'd bring the subcommittee back and say, okay, we got some changes, we got some updates, we need to meet, so on and so forth. So, like I was telling Penny, once the work really starts, it's gonna start moving fast. And it's gonna move really fast. And, you know, we'll do whatever the board wants, but I wanna just make sure that everyone understands that those subcommittee meetings, they do help with the minutia of things.
I have a question though, actually 2 questions. How did I miss that nobody wanted committees anymore? Because you said I was the only one who felt this way.
No.
But how do you know I'm the only one who feels
Well,
this
'cause
way?
I spoke-
Because nobody else said anything.
Let me tell you how that happened. So when we had our call last week for the parking lot, do you remember we had our call? After speaking to everyone, somebody mentioned that we should do this, and I didn't speak to you about the parking lot because you were on the call. And that's when I had mentioned it to people. And we wanted it to mention to you
We were talking
earlier.
about it, we talked about it earlier, you weren't here.
in the, at dinner, but that's okay, we'll catch up offline. Trust me, there's no.
Shouldn't be talking about board things at dinner.
We
No,
weren't
no,
making-
no.
We weren't voting or making a
No, we
decision,
making
it was
decision.
about a sub.
I promise, there's no conspiracy.
And there was
I
no-
understand your
You can call
frustration.
me and talk to me about any other thing you're talking
That was
to
the
any
only,
other
that
board
was the
members
only thing I
about
had
though.
talked to anybody about, but you were on the calls anyway, so what am I gonna update you on what you heard?
Anyway,
On
so,
committees.
so here.
No, that was brought up to me, and I just,
Yeah.
So I mentioned it because David said he wasn't gonna be here, and then somebody had mentioned it, so I just said, why don't we just have it at a study session? So then I asked Dr. Musab, so I'm just a little confused today.
Who's
but
the
it's
somebody
really-
else?
It's
It's really not that serious. but yeah.
Let's do this. I'm not gonna get into he said, she said. We're not looking to create issues.
I'm not getting in the he
No,
said,
not
she
you.
said, nor am I looking to create issues. All I
Not
was
you.
saying is you said I was the only one that felt that way, and I was a little confused.
Because everybody else
because
told
I
me they were
didn't have-
okay.
I-
And
nobody
you
has
should be
said anything
confused, and
to
as soon
me.
as I said it, I'm like, hey, I never said anything to her, so I apologize to you. But nonetheless, it's something that we can table, but I would say this. If you could notify the board when you're having those subcommittees, and I know we have subcommittee members, but anybody that wants to join should be able to join. If they can just sit back and let them do their job, though, until we figure this out.
Anybody can attend
Anybody
a
can
committee
attend the
meeting.
I didn't even know where they were.
You just can't,
Anybody can attend a
can't
committee
speak.
meeting if there's more, if a 4th board member, any board member who's not on the committee can just not participate.
But I didn't know when they were. I'm just saying.
Oh, the bond committee meetings?
Yeah, I didn't know when they were, so how would I be able to attend? Nonetheless, they're not on Mondays or Fridays, which are really the only days I'm in town anyway, so I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about
We've
in
been
general.
having them Tuesdays.
Again, I don't know, there's some Tuesdays I'm in town, but if you could put that out to the board until we figure this out, we'll table it, we'll talk offline, one-on-one, so that it's not quorum, but if we can do that, we'll take a look at it and see what happens from there. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that's fine. And like I said, whatever the board would like us to do, we'll do. If the board wants to do study session, we'll do study session. If the board wants to do subcommittee separate, we'll do separate. You just let us know and we'll adjust.
Fine, thank you.
We could, and then I'll bury this, we could also, for the weekly report, if you want to send out detailed stuff, and to just, we'd really have to stay focused and prep for that study session. But then again, you know, that leaves us little time for other stuff.
Yeah, just, usually those updates are in the Friday updates. When there's major updates, we'll put them in as a memo.
All right, so Secretary Williamson tells me that that was the discussion. Is there any other points of discussion for, we gotta get a vote in, Dr. Musalam, I think, Trustee Williamson. Okay, no more discussions. Here, no more discussion. All those in favor of board policy, second reading, and remove policy 6605, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, passes. Thank you, Trustee Williamson, for keeping us on track. Anything else, Dr. Musalam?
One last action item, Wayne Reese election representatives. The election for 2 seats in the Wayne County Reese Board of Education will be held on Monday, June 2nd, 2025 at 6 p.m. Board seats are for 6-year terms beginning July 1, 2025 and ending June 30, 2031. These seats are currently being held by Janessa S. Berry and Linda S. Jackson. Public Act 233 and 419 requires local districts to adopt a resolution at a public meeting which names the party who is designated to cast ballots for ISD seats, meaning candidates from our board. The resolution must state which candidates the designee must vote for. See attachment BC.
All right, recommended action that the Crestwood Board of Education designate, can you repeat those again, please? I'm so sorry, I got,
No.
are we on C?
Yeah, you,
No, somebody from, is there somebody from here?
From
has
here?
to go to there?
yes.
Okay. Any recommendations?
Is anybody willing to go? That's normally how we take care of it. Somebody volunteers.
What days are they on? Do you know?
It's June 2nd.
What day is that?
June 2nd, yes.
I think Billy said he wanted to go, didn't he?
It's under attachment 8C, 8AC.
I go to Lansing,
Go to
so
8AC, it's there.
I do the Lansing thing, so it's my,
What time?
at 6, was it?
6 p.m., 6:30. No,
Are you volunteering?
hold on, June 2nd. I'm trying to find the time. That was the time of something else. It doesn't say the time. I'm assuming it's gonna be 6 p.m. though, but we can find that out.
Columbus.
Sorry, I'm trying to get there. What's the location again?
Wayne Reese's building on,
It's by Hype Wayne.
I'm trying to get there so I can see the
So Billy will be right
sign
there.
and location.
did you hear that, Billy? He said you'll be right
You
there.
know where Wayne, I gotta get it right, Corwell Wayne is?
Yeah, yeah.
It's right
Oh,
behind it.
Yeah, on Van Born, I think.
Yeah.
Van Born and Howe Road.
How, isn't it on How in Van Born?
Howe and Van Born, I think.
Yeah, I think so. It's right there.
It's literally right behind
Yeah,
Hype
it's
Wayne.
right there.
What is it? I'm,
This was in the Friday update, guys. We should have been reading.
what's that?
They were in the Friday updates.
Do we have any volunteers?
I
That
won't
is
be
1
here.
week, I'm out all week, Monday through Friday, so. Is it necessary for one of us to be there?
Yeah.
What is the date?
June the 2nd at 6 p.m.
Oh, I wish I could. I can't.
My recollection is correct, it lasts like an hour.
And they're the two people that are currently serving.
Yeah, I have something on the 2nd.
So it's not, you just have to cast a vote.
I'll go.
Okay, no, it's okay, I'll go. You do it.
I'll be your second. No, they
We
need a
need an
second.
alternate
You
also.
need an alternate, okay.
So, Mr. Chair,
Trustee Alzea.
I recommend that the Crestwood Board of Education designate Najah Janoon as the district's representative to cast a ballot at the June 2nd, 2025 Wayne Risa election, and David Williamson as an alternate in the event the designated representative is unable to attend.
Support.
Recommendation by trustee Alzayat that the Crestwood Board of Education designate Vice President Najah Shanoon as the district's representative to cast a ballot at the June 2nd, 2025 Wayne Risa election, and Secretary David Williamson as the alternate in the event of designated representative is unable to attend. Motion by trustee Alzayat, supported by trustee Baidoon. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Okay, thank you. I'll make the informational items go fast. Just as a reminder, Crestwood Honors and Graduation information. Honors Convocation is Tuesday, May 27th at 6 p.m. at Crestwood High School Auditorium. Please check the weather. If it's very hot, dress appropriately for the heat, because remember, there's no air conditioning yet in the auditorium. But being that the bond passed, in 2 more years, hopefully you will have air conditioning.
Yay,
Gra-
class of 27.
Graduation is Thursday, May 29th at 6 p.m. at the Crestwood High School Outdoor Multi-Purpose Facility. Please come early, sit, relax, and enjoy celebrating our seniors. Our district is closed for Memorial Day, Monday, May 26th, and for Eid al-Adha on Friday, June 6th. Last day of school is Wednesday, June 11. All students will have morning classes only. The Crestwood High School Athletic Booster Club golf outing is Friday, June 13th at 9 a.m. I am so sorry, this is gonna be the first one I'm gonna have to miss. I have something that day and I can't get out of it, but I'm gonna try to send a foursome for my family to play. It is Friday, June 13th at 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Congratulations to the girls tennis team for winning league championship. Congratulations to the Crestwood Drama on the production of Hadestown, and thank you, Trustee Williams, for the email that you sent out from Paul Bruce, his commentary on how well the play was. So it's phenomenal. Congratulations to Elisa Hadla for being selected for the NASA internship. I believe we get one every year. I mean, this is phenomenal. It's very difficult to get in. And then finally, thank you to all the donors and volunteers. We appreciate everything everyone does, and we know there's many people that donate and volunteer that, you know, don't even get recognition for what they do, but we appreciate you, we thank you. Board, thank you, and that is my commentary.
Thank you, Dr. Musalam. And now for board comments. Trustee Alzayat?
Just wanted to say congratulations to all of our recipients. Tonight, it was a beautiful board brightener. I wanted to thank Rashid Baidoon for his work on bringing the board brightener here, and also congratulations to all those who were recognized by our CCEF earlier today. And I think that's a wonderful thing that they're doing too, being able to recognize staff annually, but also that those nominations come from our students, and I think that that's wonderful. So I just wanted to take a minute to thank them and their team at the CCEF. I wanted to wish everybody great congratulations on their commencement. Go class of 2025. Congratulations to you all. I hope to attend most of these events that are taking place in your honor. And last but not least, I would like to wish my daughter Mariam a happy 21st birthday. Today is her birthday, and I'm missing it to be here. So, you know, happy birthday, Mariam.
Happy birthday, Mariam. Trustee Baidoon.
Okay, so again, congratulations for everyone that was here. I wish I can say that congrats to our chair for being one of the longest meetings that we've had, and I want to blame you so bad just to give you the title, but we can't because the agenda was awesome and it was well-deserved, so.
Longest meeting in your tenure. I remember much longer meetings prior to you being on the
Well,
board.
we started at 5
Okay,
today.
I just want to make sure you know, we used to stay till 9 o'clock on most days, so.
But
Yeah,
we
this
started
is
at
still-
5.
This is the longest of the short ones, but go ahead.
If it's city council, you still have 3 hours left.
But In regards to the board brightener, congrats to everyone. But I do want to say, hot off the press, as of an hour ago, congratulations to Riverside Middle School girls soccer league champs. They beat Bryant Middle School in the championship 2-0. They went undefeated, playing in the Dearborn League. It's the first time they play in the Dearborn League. So congrats to the coaches and, second year. So congrats to the coaches and all the players and undefeated league champs. So, right. So also congrats to the Crestwood students and also our communities around us on the Data Awards. A lot of Crestwood kids were chosen to be a part of the Data Awards, a lot of the tech crews and stage managers and everything. So I'm not gonna go through their names, it's way too many, but congrats to them. And then I will pass out a Riverside wristband for everybody sitting here. The Amity Club Raven Day is May 28th from 4:30 to 6 at Riverside Middle School. You are all cordially invited. Please be there in support. It's a dodgeball tournament. I know last year, Trustee Amon got hit in the head by one of our students. And Twice. I tried to pay her for a third time to do it, but
Do we have
she refused.
videotape of that, or?
I'm sure we do somewhere. I'm sure we do
Yeah,
somewhere.
please, that would be something I'd like to see.
But that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Baydun. Trustee Fawaz?
Thank you. Today was an amazing meeting, I think. Congratulations to all, from the CCF, the seniors, RMS, and, you know, of course, partial to RMS News, because my daughter's on there, but all the seniors, the tennis champs, and how amazing this Nassau student, I mean, that's difficult for adults, let alone a senior, so that's, again, that's really congratulations to her. And just, you know, be careful, graduation, prom, summer, good weather, just be careful, stop signs, traffic, kids, just be safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Fawaz. Trustee Williamson?
I just think, what an incredible night. So many accolades given up. Congratulations to all the retirements. Congratulations to all the seniors. We won't have a meeting before then. Everybody stay safe, keep aware, and then thank you for the administration for putting it all together tonight. And good luck to the Crestwood Drama at the Data Awards. I'm sorry? And then last thing is, there is a band concert in Crestwood this Wednesday at 6:30. So if you can, please attend. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Williamson. Vice President
I
Janoon?
will keep it short and sweet. I will echo everyone's sentiments. It was one of my favorite meetings that we've had in a long time. Congratulations to everybody, and thank you very much.
Treasurer Amon? Thank you,
Yeah, just congratulations to all of our teachers who are retiring, and also our secretary from Highview. Congratulations. Thank you guys for all of your service. Congratulations to all of our seniors who are graduating. I know every year it's a great thing to see. I know me and Trustee Baydun used to always say every year that group of seniors that we would coach, those were like the ones that we enjoyed. And every year they just get better and better. And congratulations to all of them. Thank you to all of our teachers. I know Teacher Appreciation Week. Thank you for everything that you guys do. And also happy early Eid to everybody. Happy Memorial Day. Be safe. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Amon. I don't have much to say, I guess. Everything, congrats. Teacher appreciation is the one I really wanted to highlight. Just thank you. I think you guys have heard me say it before. I'll say it again. I think if there are 3 roles in society that should be the highest paid, they would be teachers, firefighters, and police officers. And I will not take that back any day of the week. So that is just my sentiment. I want to thank the teachers for everything that they do. Thank you, CCEF, for a fantastic event tonight. And unless anyone else has anything that they
Mr.
would
Chair?
like to discuss, Trustee Amon.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Motion adjourned by Trustee Amon, supported by Trustee Baydun. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.